Counting dimes in real time. It's their art, education with a heart. They play the part. They load the tips, it's the cables. They got the key. With Aubyns in sight, no surprise. Cha-ching echoes as the cable bill dies. They lead the way. Cutting cords and bringing change. Checking tips with the butcher's name. The butcher and Aubyns share the game. Oh, tune in. Catch the show where you belong, Slicing through the noise, cut the cost. Tech savvy with every choice. Cody builds and savvy guides. Protect your neck from costly lies. The butcher's got the skill, streaming smart. Aubyns breaks down those saving charts. Tune in, tune in. Unlock the secrets, break down the wall. Going live, gonna thrive in their eyes. Wisdom's tall. Discussions deep, they never stall. The pixels pop.
What's up, boys? Tell me that wasn't rocking. Good.
Yeah, baby, that was rocking.
Way to go,
Jesus.
Dave. Good job,
Dave.
Yeah,
Dub
Dub.
Beach. That was Dub Beach's talents of using his music talents as well as a little AI, but that was kicking. I was like,
Yeah.
well, the first time I've heard that one. So thanks for everyone who joining the show. If you've not watched the show before, what we do is we'll talk about tech items, streaming content. We try to give you advice, show you where you might want to pay attention to where some prices might be going up, how to save money. Then the second half of the show, we're going to talk about Dune 2. We'll do a movie review, so that'll be in 1 hour. So I see lots of folks on the side chat. I see a lot of our regular viewers, as we saw Darkness and Redneck and Paul, Ruben, lots of our folks that are normally hanging with us at this time. So thanks everyone joining us. How is everybody on the panel? Aubyns, Roger, Eddie, and Dub Beach.
Good.
Good.
Thanks.
Somebody turn off the AC, please.
Eddie's got a sweater on. Old man problems. That's what that is.
Okay. Besides that,
Mama wants it cooler in the house, so yeah, he's got to live with that. So yeah, summer's going to be here before we know it. So that's always a good thing. It's always nice to see the good weather, sun coming up, snow going away. So
You can see green on the trees, you know.
yeah, that's it's getting greener around here. I actually had to mow this week, early part of the week. I had to mow. I actually mowed twice because I think I need to sharpen the blades on the saw. So hey, your first tip is sharpen your lawnmower blades, folks, before you start mowing, because if not, you're just kind of knocking the grass off and you're not cutting it clean. And then you gotta mow it even that much more when you have to break it off. So,
don't you put gas in the tank before?
well, yeah, you got to do that. You have to. It needs gas, but you don't always have to sharpen the blades on your lawnmower. And I didn't sharpen mine, and it looked bad. I had to mow it twice.
If you got a bench vise and a good file, it takes 15 minutes to sharpen the blades on a mower.
Yeah.
It's worth your time.
Yes, much worth your time. So I've got to sharpen mine because like I said, it was not good. I was like, this doesn't look so good. I knew I needed to sharpen them, but whatever. That's first tip of the day, and it had nothing to do with streaming. Grass matters, okay, folks. Grass matters. And not Roger's grass.
I was just gonna say, you're goddamn right. Grass matters.
All right, so let's go ahead. We'll get cranking. The first topic is one that Roger posted. So let me grab that. Grab that. Open her up. Present. That one. Let's go ahead and talk about some NFL. And what the possible costs may be of NFL in the hold on, is it showing for you guys? Yeah. So the potential cost to someone that watches NFL, because we're not only getting things to be where we used to, it was the major networks. It was your ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and then ESPN rolled into it, and then we had Amazon.
And Peacock, didn't Peacock do one last year?
Last year, Peacock, you had to have the Peacock application or app to be able to get it. So this is kind of an interesting thing. So for people that are football fans, this could be what you may be paying if you didn't know about any of the other alternatives that sometimes we know about and we talk about. Right. So if you were a lay person, you may be forced into paying for YouTube, which is $73 at this time, because these costs could go up. Last year,
that's a month, by the way. It's $72.99.
So, $72.99 a month. For the year for NFL's ticket was $349. Now you had to pay for YouTube TV, and that was two separate charges.
Right.
If you wanted to have Peacock, which that would be if you would be able to watch, or no, excuse me, not Peacock. Amazon. So if you wanted to watch if you wanted to watch Thursday night's games or Black Friday's games, you need to have Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime running you $9 a month. Peacock, which was part of the playoffs, wasn't that big, like that Kansas?
Yeah, they had all kind of problems with it. Yeah, it was the Chiefs game.
Yep,
and Peacock had a shit ton of problems.
So $6 a month for that. ESPN Plus. So ESPN Plus, that's $11 a month.
And they must be going to have some games on them this year.
Yeah, I think so. And they got Monday nights. Isn't Monday night?
That's ESPN. That's ESPN.
I don't see ESPN anywhere else on that chart, so that must be what they're.
Yeah, probably. And then you got Netflix, who has bought rights, and we'll talk about that next. Bought rights to Christmas Day's, at least one game on Christmas Day. So that's $7 a month. And these are all the lowest packages. So if you wanted the ad-free kind of stuff, which sports, even if you get ad-free, you're still going to
get the ads.
Yeah. Still going to get the ads. But so we're talking $850, guys.
To watch football.
To watch football. I mean, do you think, all right, so most of us on the panel are NFL watchers. I'm not sure about Eddie.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you were watching. I mean, I'm not sure if you watch much NFL. I mean, I'm sure you watch hockey. No. I'm sure you watch hockey, but
yeah.
But hockey NFL
Rangers.
Yeah. Shut up. We're not talking about that. So $850. I mean, do you think? I mean, what do you guys think about this? I mean, because we're old enough to remember.
They're going to sell a lot of it because there's so many freaky football fans that are just going to have it. That they'll sell it.
Yeah.
Not to me.
For me.
Yeah, but they will sell it.
Sell it to those Swift fans, right?
It's just, I mean, it's ridiculous. To require, making people. It was bad enough when they switched over Monday night games to ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
So then you had to have, if you had cable, this is back before the alternatives that we have now were available, you had to have a sports package that had ESPN, so you could watch Monday Night Football when they made the switch. So screw that. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's why I have a lot of friends that have alternative viewing.
Yeah. Alternatives to live TV.
Yeah.
Streaming live TV. And you think about it, $850. And I mean,
Hey.
in this,
$855. That's American, right?
Yeah,
True.
that's
True.
like 2,000 freaking Canadian.
$1,165 Canadian.
that's 1,100 Canadians.
Oh,
Well, that's
over
why
11.
you become a diehard CFL fan then.
Well, CFL, to watch CFL, you have to have cable. CFL, I've glanced at some different CFL games when I'm like super desperate. They're always on TSN or Sportsnet. It's a cable channel. It's not, and Canada doesn't have a lot of over the air. The U.S. does offer, probably the best in the world for over the air. But now we're talking about these games. A lot of these games are not being offered over the air. So, you don't have an option to Amazon Prime. You can't watch the game that's going to show on Thursday night. You're not going to watch that over the air.
Unless you know how.
Yeah, unless you have some alternatives and
know somebody knows how.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, well, they're going to get away with this, right?
Yeah.
They got away with it already.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now what's going to happen with the NBA, with
same stuff?
It's going to happen with all of these guys. So you're talking by the time you're ready to watch all of your different sports, whether it be baseball, football, hockey, anything, you're gonna be looking at what, $2,000 a year? You know what I mean?
Probably more than that if you want.
Yeah.
I think they'll say no, we can't do that. I can't see them. They're gonna say, hey, we're really making a lot of money here because we know what the bosses are making after.
Try to go to a game. Try to go to a game.
Yeah.
That's $500.
Well, this makes me think about. I mean, we have the North America point of view. Talk to if Andrew's not on the panel right now, and he'll be here later. The UK has already been dealing with this when you talk the Premier League and the Championship League, because you had to have the Sky package and the BT package, which I guess now would be the TNT packages, depending on which games you cared about. If you watched the UK soccer / football,
and then they still have other leagues too, like the Irish League and the Wales League, and people
there pay. I mean, they're paying.
I don't understand. I think now I understand why all of those fans. I look at them like they're so nuts. When you're watching something going on over there, everyone is screaming. Their fights break out all over the place. It's because they're paying too damn much money.
If you think about this, so $855. If you're a person that you're an avid football fan, you want to see all the games, especially out of market games, is when it really becomes difficult. What is football season? 4 months? So what's it? September?
I mean,
October,
if
November,
you can't September to February is a Super Bowl.
So you get 5, and then you get the Super Bowl, which that's going to be over the air. So 5 months. So if you break that up, that's $150 a month is what you'd be paying for football alone. Just for the football package.
Until the Super Bowl goes pay-per-view, which it will go pay-per-view.
Shut up! Don't
it
start.
will.
You're bad luck. You're bad luck. But yeah, this is. It as I think you guys are right. I love the point of when we think about the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, all of those other sports are watching what the NFL does, and this is kind of like the Netflix of streaming type of thing. Whatever Netflix got away with, the rest of the rest of the services followed suit. We're looking at the same thing with the NFL. The NFL is showing what the fans are willing to pay. How much can you fleece the fans for, and then the rest of the sports jump in and say, yeah, well, our fans will pay that.
Where you'll see it is when, when somebody buys a sport, they buy the TV contract, for a certain amount of years. Where you're going to see is when that contract's up, kind of like how Amazon got the Thursday night package from NBC.
Yep.
So it's just going to be now, instead of having the networks, the 4 networks bidding on it, you're going to have the 4 networks plus streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And I read someplace that the baseball is gonna stream some games on one of these platforms this coming year. Roku.
Yeah.
That started, I think, last Sunday. If we'll talk about that later, I'm almost positive it was said last Sunday was the beginning of that. But they were free streaming. There's some free to that.
The first one's always free. We're back to the drug dealers.
Yeah. Using the analogy of how you, how the first one's always free, and then once you get people hooked, then that's when you start to, there's a cost to that, boys.
Yeah, it will be. It will cost eventually. It won't be free forever.
No. So it is disturbing in a lot of ways because, like we say, this is just one sport, and for folks that are avid sports fans. This is it's going to just move. And we talk about, it goes to all these. I love football, and I respect the guys that play the sport, but I'm sorry, I can't say that a player is worth $50 million in a year.
Nope.
$50 million for one player. That's, to me, we when we talk about the costs and the NFL says, well, we got to pay our players. Well, do we really need to pay them $50 million for 1 year? That for one, and
they're a team. They're a team.
Yeah, so you got to pay.
It's a team, so pay them all the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Really. This is communism, man. Listen to you damn commie.
Right.
What do you mean pay them all the same?
I am not going to sit there and pay all kinds of money for some guy who's not going to stretch out because he doesn't want to injure his shoulder, so he's not going to reach for the ball. Okay. That's why I don't watch it no more.
Right.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Look at all the work you do for free here.
Yeah.
Sucker born every minute.
But you get to come on. Look, you get to come on the show every week. There's your reward.
And that's a bonus. How?
Moving on to the next topic. Let me see. Where was what was my next topic? Beach. Hey, can we mute that guy? I'm going to jump over there. We'll jump over to can we jump over the Netflix?
Okay.
Because since we'll go ahead into that, since we're in the midst of it, we'll cover this while we're there already on this sport. So when we talk about this, so this kind of plays into what we were already talking about. Netflix has grabbed or bought the rights to at least one Christmas Day game on 2025 and 2026. And it says at least one, so that means Netflix is trying to reach and maybe grab more games. So if you're wanting to watch some games on Christmas Day, you're with your family all hanging around, now you got to have Netflix for it. Netflix, this really makes me think of Netflix has really dipped their toe into the live content. What was it? Cat Williams had a special, 2 weeks ago? That was a live streamed Tom Brady, his roast. Wasn't his roast a live stream?
Yep.
So, I mean, what are you guys thinking about with Netflix grabbing this for live content as well as this other live content that they're trying to grab onto?
I think get used to it because it's going to happen more and more and more. Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to deal with it, learn to wear the pirate hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know what's going to happen. Is that going to be owned by the NFL or is Netflix buying it?
What do you mean?
A football game. Say a Christmas game. That's still going to belong to the NFL. So then, Netflix broadcasts it, live.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to pay for it. It then goes back to the NFL because the NFL is going to say, well, we don't want.
So you're talking
people to
about
have this
replay rights.
replay rights.
Does
Right.
Netflix own the replay rights? That's a good
Right.
question.
I would assume
Now,
they do
and-
because that's what they do is they replay. So I would assume
Right.
they built that into whatever deal they cut with the NFL.
But then the other side of it is, okay, so now say Netflix owns it, and now you want to be able to get that to be able to watch later, and you don't have Netflix.
Yeah.
Is Netflix going to say, oh well, you can buy it for just to? We're saying because we
Yeah.
want to make money, or we're just going to sell you just that game.
Yeah.
You understand?
I doubt they sell the game a la carte, but they'd sell you a subscription for that month to watch it.
Yeah. Can I just have the subscription for a couple hours just to watch it? And this goes into, they just bought the rights to WWE, the Raw. So they bought the rights to that 10-year deal, $5 billion for them to broadcast live wrestling.
And there are so many WWE fans.
God. Well, at school, it is, well, of course, the teenagers, but you'd be surprised on how many adults are avid watchers of male soap opera, because that's kind of what it is. It's a male soap opera is what it is for young boys. And we got the Jake Paul fight and Mike Tyson. Yeah. So that's coming up. They said the golf tournament, like some.
They're
Netflix
trying to be a real studio.
Mm-hmm.
What the studios used to be,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's and we talk that's the only thing that's going to happen with Netflix is the price is going to go up.
Yep.
The more stuff they buy, you can be damn sure that price is going to be dropped onto the end user that are buying Netflix. So you think you're getting away with that $6.99 ad supported package? That will be $8.99 or $9.99. Relatively soon. Top packages are going to, before you know, it's going to be closer to $30 to have the ad free 4K.
Well, that's why. That's another thing. Are you going to be able? Are you going to be able to say, okay, I want to rewatch this game without ads or with ads, but people are going to want to buy those.
I don't think they'll
keep it.
I doubt they sell the games a la carte. I really doubt that part.
Right.
But if you had a monthly subscription, you could, just like any of their other content, I'm sure you could replay any of their other content. Why couldn't you replay a football game? And Netflix has invested so much money in their infrastructure that they're the streaming company that just works. They don't they're not going to have problems with their live feeds like Peacock did.
No.
During that Chiefs game. It's just going to work with Netflix because they've spent so much money on their infrastructure and it's already there in place. They know how to do it already. Yeah.
You're 100% right that they have the infrastructure where all these other streaming services are playing catch up, and they're able to handle the traffic. And it is with Leon saying the NFL doesn't give a rat's ass about its fans. It does care about its fans because that's who they're pulling the money from. And they don't care that they're pulling money from their fans, but they need their fans, and they know that their fans are those blind, I don't want to say
idiots.
They'll pay. People will pay. And I mean, I'm an NFL fan. Not that I paid for any of those packages, but I could see where a person that doesn't have some knowledge would feel like, well, that's my only choice. I want to watch the games. And you're going to just pay it. And it becomes that expected that they just pay it. So their fans are almost just little lemmings that they're just going to pull that money off of all their fans. So it's kind of we're in a weird time of things changing when we talk about American sports in how you're going to view American sports. I mean, because it used to be only streaming movies or TV shows, and that was all we talked about. Now it's like, okay, movies and TV shows, that's old stuff. Now these streaming services have said, hey, we're going to grab a hold of the live content and capture that customer to watch the live stuff right here too. So, again, folks, do some research. And I see we got the 25, 30 people that are in the live chat over on the side. And all these folks you guys know about the alternatives. And so if you're not a person to learn about the alternatives to some of these and wearing, like Roger says, wearing a different type of hat, because you're going to be able to watch all that content. And even when you have that, it's not 100%. And I tell people all the time when they ask me questions, I'm like, there is no guarantee to that. I mean, but there is lots and lots of options. So even if one option goes away, you just move your boat. And how many year subscriptions could you have to some of those other alternatives when you think of $855, you could have
a lot of them.
A lot of options. So even if a couple went down, you'd have more to go with. So So if you're not
and that 855 is just for football. Well,
right.
and Netflix, because you got Netflix and Peacock. No other live channels though. That's just for football.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas the other content does give you
Everything.
Everything. We'll jump over that Roku, since we've already kind of mentioned that.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's 100%. So Roku is going to start streaming. This was it might be this Sunday, because it said starting Sunday. So if you're an MLB fan, you are Roku will give the opportunity for people to stream the Sunday's games. What is nice about this, though, is you don't have to have a Roku device to stream it. You actually can go and download the app and watch it, as well as go to the RokuChannel.com and just play it without logging in. There's no login needed. So if you're a person that likes to watch, so it says here Sunday night's games, Red Sox versus the Cardinals will be one of the, Sunday night game. So you'll be able to watch that game. And for now, it is free. But now we see Roku dipping their toe in this. And, they're kind of, we've said this, they are the number one streaming device in the US for sure. I don't know about the world, but definitely more people have Roku devices than any other devices. And people say, oh no, it's Fire Sticks. No, because Roku was pre-built into millions of TVs for years now. Amazon is
Fire TV.
Fire TV has been doing it for the last 5 or 6, but Roku was way ahead of them on that.
That's true.
They had the ability to already be out there in the market. So a lot of people that use these devices are people that need very simple layout. We were talking non-techie people that use a lot of Roku. As your older people that tend to use it because they like it. I mean, you guys, how many people, when we talk about cord cutting and installing apps, people say, well, I got a Roku, can you put it on that?
At least a quarter of the people I talk to.
Yeah.
I tell them to throw the piece of shit away.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
I mean, put it this way, a Roku stick is the perfect present to give to somebody you do not like.
Yep.
It is. I mean, on the plus side of it, it is simple layout. And if you're going to pay for all legitimate apps or watch free content that is offered through them, it works. And it's simple to learn. Your grandma can figure it out and move with it. If you want to sideload items or install other applications, it is a no go. There's no go on that. You're not doing it. So that's why most of us.
And if somebody tells you about, you can watch IPTV on Roku. Yes, you can. Some services you can get, but let me just tell you, somebody who experimented with it, that Smarters version for the Roku is the biggest dog turd I've ever played with in my life. It is a POS to the max.
Yeah. And it's so it fits a market, but so Roku, you think about it. So they're trying to kind of get into this market now with streaming live content, and I guess they'll take a shot at it. I'm wondering how they do. How do they do in this, stock market wise? I never really looked at their stock to see. I know none of us would use the device because there's no side loading. It is kind of a lockdown device. Whenever somebody found a way around stuff on those devices, Roku tends to patch it pretty quickly, and then the exploit is gone. So it's like it ain't worth messing with it, because if you find an exploit, you can bet your ass it's going to be patched pretty soon, and then you're out. So so it's just another one of those services that are something else that's going to offer. But if you're a person that you like baseball, but no, I mean baseball and golf are the two sports that I can't watch because it's just too slow. All right, here's some good news though for some folks that may be looking for some somewhat cheaper internet. Comcast is offering $30 a month internet with no data caps. And they say that it's available nationwide. Now, when I read through some of the comments down at the bottom, sometimes people calling Comcast to get this package, the people tended not to know what they were talking about. The customer service had no idea what you were trying to buy. But supposedly Comcast is offering 100 megabytes down for $30 a month, no data caps. I think that also in this article talks about Xfinity's offers some of this, and you can also bump it up to $40 a month for the 200 meg down. So, I mean, what do you guys think?
Like drug dealers to me. Really, they're gonna pull the same thing that that all these other guys are doing, NFL and whoever. And these channels, everyone wants to make their own prices and raise them. What's it say? Comcast is going to start saying, you know what? Everybody's traffic is going through me. I want to charge more.
They will.
What can we say? We can't say a damn thing about it.
Well, we've talked about it numerous times on the show. How many people's internet has stayed the same and the bill went up? And I tell you, call the cable company and raise hell. Tell them that, hey, I'm leaving you. I'm going to, this other internet provider. And then all of a sudden, Lord, look at we can save you money. Yeah. Oh, glad you called us. Yes, we can lower your bill and we'll give you faster speed. But they wouldn't have ever called you to tell you that. You have to threaten to leave them. So this happens all the time.
We're going to come to a point that they're going to say, okay, these are going to be the numbers that it's going to be. And that's it. They're going to tell everyone to go screw themselves. Because if they're sitting there saying, well, you're using my internet so you can stream the NFL for $800-something bucks a year, why shouldn't they get that money? You know what I mean?
Oh, they will eventually.
That's what it's going to come down to eventually.
They will.
I mean, it'll be one of those packages. Again, with the price goes up, they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, your new price starting next month. It's gone from $30 to $90. You were on a promotional." They don't give any. They don't really say how long this is going to last, but as we call it, the drug dealer technique of they bait you in at one thing and then get you on the back end.
And I think that they're up against competition that they've never been up against before. Right now, Elon has put up, I can't remember how many hundreds of satellites he's got up. Amazon is just getting started. They're going to have competition from other sources that they didn't have before.
Well, they already had 5G with Verizon.
Right.
They already had the satellite or the cell phones are doing.
Right. So I think just the free market is going to keep this particular market more in check than say NFL, because it's a captive market. There's only one place to get the NFL if you want to get it that way. There's just so many different ways to get your net now that traditional stranglehold companies like Comcast, which used to be the screw you pay me company, now has to give a $30 a month bracket.
there's too many other options, as you said,
Yeah.
and with Verizon or T-Mobile's, all those with the 5G, and I think you're 100% point agree on that point of the satellites is changing the landscape in the pricing scale, because people can just, hey, I'll get I'll go with Starlink or Amazon, which will be, I think, at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Amazon, that's when you're going to start being able to get the Amazon internet, which
and they're going to be
satellite service.
cheaper. Their hardware is going to be cheaper than Starlink, and their monthly price is going to be cheaper than Starlink.
And faster internet, because remember they were.
Which Elon doesn't play that game. He'll undercut that price as soon as that happens, and when he undercuts them, Amazon again will undercut him. So
Well, both of those companies have money to work with.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, both of those companies have money they can lose and still have a good balance sheet. So that's an option for you folks. I mean, we tend to be doom and gloom on a lot of times when we're talking about pricing and stuff, but this is an option for you. But the cable Comcast is not going to call you to tell you about this. You're going to have to call, and it's anything we talk about. Now, again, people that are watching, that are over in the live chat, are all veteran viewers of this. The link is down below. You can read the full article, and you need to do. They said it was a prepaid program. It said that now Comcast says that its new prepaid internet service is available nationwide, Comcast network markets. So there may be some confusion when you first call, so you might have to call and bug them and to be able to find someone that actually understands that the package is there. That's when I was reading down here, down in the comments, is when I saw people saying, I called and they didn't have any idea about what this package is. And again, this could be a way to save yourself some money if you're a person that wants to keep the 200 meg line or the 100 meg line, and check that out.
And honestly, for one person, 100 megs is probably enough for one person.
Yeah, you're right. So another Comcast thing is there is a lot of companies doing a bundle, and Comcast has added a bundle. It's going to give you Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus as a bundle. So there is no pricing on this yet, but they're claiming that this is going to be a savings than if you bought them separately. So if you're a person that feels like you want to have these services and you needed all three of them, you may want to, and if you're a Comcast customer, you may want to check out, read the article, and stay on top of this, because this is supposed to launch soon. Trying to see, they called it Dubs Stream Saver, the Stream Saver bundle. And there's a lot of other companies. We talked about this where, what was it? Disney, Warner Brothers did that with the Max. Yeah, so Warner Brothers, which is Max, Disney, Hulu, talked about their big bundle that they was going to, and Comcast is doing that. So we're seeing a lot of these bundling these packages together, because a lot of people are saying, do I need Paramount? No, I don't really watch it. Or can I ditch Hulu? Do I really watch Hulu? I can ditch it. So a lot of these streaming services like, hey, what if we give a little discount and we'll bundle it, and we'll bundle and we'll all take a little bit less to keep that customer on the hook. I mean, I think this is going to be going on a whole lot more. This bundling of packages from the cable company, because again, the cable company wants to keep you there, and all of these streaming services want to keep you on. So what they're having to do is the cable company says, hey, if you stick with us, because we're good Comcast, we've been there for you. We've been there for you. If you keep paying your bill, what if we give you a little deal on that Peacock and Netflix and Apple TV? Get a little savings. And look at how the content you'll be able to watch. So it's a win-win for both the cable company who's losing customers, as well as the streaming services were losing customers. You guys going to sign up for that one?
No.
No.
I knew that.
I have Ambi.
Yeah, Ambi. I watch Cody, so the rest of them kiss my ass. Oh, and Ambi. I do. The Ambi is pretty good too. So the other topic we had here was RetroArch, or RetroArch, however you want to pronounce it, has made it to the Apple Store. And this is if you are a person that likes to play retro video games, you're able to now install this onto an Apple device through their store. Now, prior, you would have had to sideload some of these apps, but now the Apple Store, has offered it through their store. What do you got? I mean, I really think this retro video gaming thing is really
It's big right now.
it's taking off. I mean, I know I've been to it for years, but it seems like everybody's getting in on the party now.
It's just cheap.
Yeah,
It's easy. It's cheap. You know, you can get into a whole video, all of the video sub switch for $150. You can have all the consoles that have ever existed before. You know?
Yep. And again, with
not like anybody can afford to pay to watch TV anyhow. So.
Yeah, you can't watch the TV, but you can play some video games. So it. But again, with this, RetroArch is, for some folks that may not understand, RetroArch is an emulator that houses a bunch of cores, and each of the cores has a subset to what it plays. So a core would be able to play Atari 2600, and another core could do Atari 5200. Another core could do PSP. Another core could do PlayStation 1. And RetroArch has all of the ability to have it in one library. And hey, you want to play a PlayStation 1 game? Okay, this is the core to play it, the software to play it, and you can play it. The one downside of RetroArch is it's not the prettiest thing. Anybody that's messed with RetroArch, it's not a pretty front end, which means the interface that you use is not very pretty. So like I use RetroArch, or RetroX uses RetroArch on the back end, but uses a front end menu with box art and all kinds of pretty eye candy where it looks good. But then when you go to play the game, it accesses RetroArch to play the game. So good thing for people that are Apple users. I mean,
yeah, because talk about products that have sticks up their butts and don't let you sideload. Apple is the stickiest.
Yeah, I mean, none of us are Apple folks. I mean, I'm anti-Apple because, again, I'm a person who believes if I buy a device, I should be able to use it as I want.
Yeah.
And Apple says, no, you're not. That is our content, and we'll give you this list of things
You
you're
can't
allowed
change your
to do.
font.
You can do this, but we're not letting you do all the other stuff. And that's why I've never been an Apple guy, but because it's the restrictions that it has.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I just thought of one, Todd.
Yeah,
have you seen any of the retro Apple games? You remember those back in the day?
No.
The Apple computer has a core on Emulation Station.
There is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's it's Apple C2, something
Apple
like that.
C?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It actually, I think on this
C
image on my Raspberry Pi over here, it's an image that I have from Virtual Man from way back, and it was a 256.
Yeah.
Apple is on there. So
okay.
Watch that video. I posted a video on Facebook.
Yeah.
Take a look at it and fast forward. And I don't stay on the Apple thing very long, but you'll be able to see.
I would hope not.
Well, I mean, the old Apple computer it did have games back in.
Yeah, it did.
It
did back
had
in
games.
the day.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's on there. But it's one of those systems I just skip on past because it's not.
Yeah,
a system that
I wouldn't play it.
No. So
I would only play it because I remember playing it. That's why I like a lot of old games.
Yep.
Thinking about how many hours you spent in front of a game when you were a kid. You know what I mean?
Well, it was all we had. I mean, I didn't ever have an Apple. I had an Apple at school.
Yeah,
but
at school, yeah.
It's all you had, so that's just what you're going to do. Ignorance is bliss, and we didn't have the ability and the technology when we were younger like that. So, you were happy to have that little. If the wagon was moving, you're like, "Ooh, look at the graphics on this." I see it. That actually looks like a wagon. It actually looks like. I don't have to use my imagination. You remember the Atari 2600?
Yeah.
How many times like the dragon? You're like, "Oh, that's a dragon." I don't know. It's a blob with a little thing hanging off the top of it.
Man.
That's a dragon.
You can only do so much with a pixel back then.
Yeah.
Pixels were this big.
True. Every pixel was this big.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. And remember, I actually played the Atari 2600 a month ago when I was setting up, for Battlesera. And I played, what was the fantasy one? What was that? Dragon Slayer. What was that called? Dungeon.
Early Dungeons.
Dungeons. But your character was a square. That was what your character. You were a square.
Yeah.
And it had a key. I remember. Your square would move, and if you touched the key, it picked up the key, and then you moved to the door that looked like it was just some lines, and you touched the black key. The black key touched the black gate, and it would slide back, and then it would let you in that door. But your character was a box, a colored box. That's that's the technology it was way back then.
My parents were so cheap they wouldn't buy us a freaking Atari. We got the Montgomery Ward's version of the Intellivision. It wasn't even a real Intellivision; it was a knockoff one.
Oh, the Intellivision! I actually played some of the Intellivision. That was another one on that Raspberry Pi thing, and I was playing it. I had forgot. I mean, their graphics on the Intellivision was kind of wasn't that the one where you slid the little piece of plastic that you knew what buttons. And I remember the baseball. My buddy had the baseball, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" And each of the players was like this big. It was like a jaggedy line of a baseball player. And, the days of some of it. So it's crazy when we get back to some of those. But RetroArch has made it to Apple Store. So if you guys are Apple users, which bless your heart if you are, but that's there. It's time for
Apple Store. Before we talk about Apple Store, did we say last week about with TV Mate? Did we talk about that? About going on?
Yeah, I thought.
Okay,
that,
all right.
That was one.
We did.
Yeah,
my little brain now is just to get it, man.
Can I talk about? We talked
TV Mate didn't have an update this week. Woohoo!
And we talked about how many updates TV Mate had. You can actually buy TV Mate on a website, and you don't have to buy it through the Google Play Store. So that was one of the topics that we talked about last week. So
cost you a few shekels more, but if you couldn't buy it before because you're an iPhone user, now you can buy it at least.
Yeah. Or a Fire Stick user, because
the
Fire Sticks can't get through the Google Play Store. So all right, it's time for our boy to do your thing. Hold on a second.
Woohoo!
All
right. Okay, what we got here with this one is will robots take my job? Okay. If you I can't even see. Yeah, you could type in a job name there.
All right, what about a teacher?
Yeah, try that. You can scroll down a little.
Yeah.
There you go.
Post-secondary teacher. They don't give you a lot of options there. So let's
that's strange,
Okay. Here we go.
And the site will give you information about that job the pay, the was it retention there?
Yeah.
Got a bunch of things there.
Yeah. Well, the risk to automation.
Yeah.
Like what's the risk of your job being taken away by the robots? And its risk level is kind of low for a teacher, for secondary.
Yeah.
So only looking at 13%. So that's not bad. You can
Well,
tell this is in the U.S. The $79,000, which definitely wasn't North Carolina, but yeah. So
does it give a
79,000.
percentage chance about the odds of the robot sleeping with one of its students?
Hey, Auburn, is there a welder on there? Because welding is being taken over by a lot of robots.
All right, hold on.
Try that.
So welder. So we got welders, cutters, solderers, and brazers. We'll jump to that one.
Yeah. That's the one.
There you go. 88% chance of losing your job to a robot.
Man.
So
YouTube host.
A baseball player,
Let's see.
a football player.
YouTuber.
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
How about influencer? That's what.
Yeah, all these people are.
Influencer?
No.
Yeah. Nothing.
I spelled that wrong. Flu and
CER?
CER.
Broadcast announced disc jockeys. Yeah, it. Let's see with the robots. That's got to be no way. 51%.
How are you going to replace Dr. Johnny Fever?
We have. He's just a robot. I mean, most radio stations don't even have disc jockeys. They just play it.
No, they just
from a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe your morning show, you might have some people that, and a lot of times that's syndicated. It's syndicated, so it's sold to all kinds of markets.
Yeah, 100 different markets.
But growth, there you go. Growth, it's dropping by 11%.
Yeah.
All right, so that was you want to check out this site. The link is down below. Find out how likely your job is to be stolen by a robot.
Retiree. Retiree.
No, everybody's giving me retiree. We got Web Oasis here, Aubyns. What's this?
So a browser, but it has like all kinds of neat things in there. Yeah, you see, you can I don't know which one that is. I can't see it.
This is the sites.
Okay, so those are like what site is that?
It's got here's your soap today, Knox.
Okay. So that's the news. Was that news then?
I just highlighted on the because you got download sites, which are torrent sites. You got RGB, which that's old because isn't RGB gone?
Yeah. I think so.
I thought it got closed. Yeah. So different sites, different torrent sites.
13.7x has a lot of problems right now too.
Yeah, it depends on your what domain you're going through.
Right, exactly.
I tend to use Pirate Bay proxy to find out if you're going to use Pirate Bay or some of those others, what site they're at now, because it'll sometimes be .ix, .dc, whatever, and so that keeps you up. So we're going to do a Google search here. Let's see. Let's do up Dune 2, since this is our movie of the week. So Dune 2 brings us here. We've got the IMDB listing, Wikipedia, IMDB, Rotten Tomatoes. So hold on a second. Let me go back. Can we, if I type in Dune,
on the right side there, it has the other things. Yeah.
So if I do Dune 2, what if I click on how about this movie stream?
Okay.
Oh, will it search Dune 2 on that, I wonder? How's this? No.
Seemed to have broken it, Todd. Way to go.
No,
the internet.
So, but you can do a lot of subcategories in. I guess I'm guessing.
And there's 3 bars at the top left. That was it. You see, all the way on the left.
Oh yeah.
Click that.
So
Got more things in
news,
there.
crypto, Twitter, stocks, convert.
Twitter.
What's
It's not even called Twitter anymore.
Yeah, this website might be a little dated there, because you're right. It would be X.
Yeah.
Let's see if it takes me to Twitter. Yeah, trying to load Twitter. It's loading. Why is it taking forever to load?
Don't know.
You broke it.
I broke it. All right. Well, I do like the website look of it though.
And it has somewhere that there's a thing to change the backgrounds too. Right there to the left, maybe, where you were underneath those.
Pencil?
Yeah.
This is just.
So is this a browser or is this just a web page?
It's a web page.
But it was like a search
I
engine.
think, but it's still a search engine.
Okay.
Like an app. It's an app address, right? Yeah, it's a weboasis.app.
All right. And so it's pulled up. I can pull up. Did bring up RU tracker, Russian tracker. All right.
Okay.
Well, some options in there.
Yeah.
All right.
It gives you some other information on the top right, also, right?
It gives the
Is it
date.
about what you're using?
Well, yeah, my OS, stuff like that.
Okay.
What browser stuff I'm using. Thanks, sweetie. Upload. Okay, so it's got some upload images where I can upload to different sites. All right. Well, folks, you guys can check this out. weboasis.app. So you can check that out to poke around and see what this, because it looks like a lot of features.
Yeah, it's a lot of features in there.
All right. So do we need to roll over here before we start?
Hold on before you do that.
Yeah.
Let me get the list up of the movies there if you want to read them off.
Oh, let's see. So I see the Snack Shack.
They're on the bottom. They're on the bottom.
Hold on. Let me put that away. Oh, wait. Look at. See, hold on. I made the thing go away. I need to stop sharing. And I got to reshare.
I can read them.
Yeah, read it because I got.
Andrew's gonna. His offering is Memory, and then we have Aubyns with Godzilla versus Kong. Todd dabs with Godzilla -1. Eddie has The Old Oak. Roger, myself, I have Snack Shack. Beach has Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Awesome. All right, so we know who to blame. Any of these crappy movies that we may be forced to watch. Not to say that all these are crappy movies, but if we watch some of those and we find that they're crap, we get to know who to blame. And of course, I want to thank a couple of our folks for putting movies that I've never fucking heard of. I mean, I swear, some of you guys you must dig to find some of these obscure movies that I've never heard of. Andrew, you're here.
Just in time.
Just in time for this.
Did you finish Dune 2?
I did.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. We'll see what the wheel of crap is forced us to watch next week. Come on. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Godzilla X Kong. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No.
Snack Shack again.
Oh, motherfucker.
As I said, who the fuck puts movies I've never fucking heard of?
The movie I
What
turned
the
off
hell
after
is
50,
Snack?
about 30 minutes. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh man.
Keep
Another
watching it.
Swiss Army man. Oh
No.
man.
It's nothing like Swiss Army Man. This one's fun.
Okay. All
Really?
right, so
I guess I missed the fun part.
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna let me just pull up the IMDb just to
Please.
IMDb. Let's go ahead. You said this was Snack Shack.
Jack. Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, 2024. All right, looks like a college movie. Looks right down. This looks like a Roger movie. 100%.
It is.
This is going to be.
Party time.
This is going to be penis humor.
No.
You sure?
I'm
This looks
sure.
just like it. Okay. All right. Rated R. Okay. So this would be the movie that we're needing to watch for next week. Yeah. Oh man. Oh Roger. This is college humor. Oh my gosh.
This one does not have nearly as many laughs as Swiss Army Man. Just so you know.
Nearly many.
Oh shit.
Okay. Fine.
Well, but in all fairness, Roger does smoke a lot of pot.
I do.
So sometimes he sees things a little more differently.
This one reminds me of growing up in the Midwest during this time period.
Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to be watching. So
Okay.
definitely a
Tell
movie I'm
Blue,
not
tell Blue you can relay a message to Blue for me. Don't worry about watching the movie Wednesday in big screen. I give her permission to miss this.
give her a pass on this one.
Yeah, give her a pass.
Well,
You don't want her big screen experience to be tainted.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get going on our movie for this week. Hold on a second.
Okay. Let me change.
This has got no music, so you guys watch your mouths. All right, so this is the player pass section of the show where we will review this movie. So there will be spoilers. We will talk about this movie. So if you've not seen it and you don't want spoilers, turn this shit off now because we're going to give you spoilers. We're going to tell you what we think of this movie. We're going to tell you how much we liked it or hated it, and we will be brutally honest. We are movie snobs, just as, that's your fair warning because we do tend to be a little oversensitive and we will critique some shit. So Dune 2, which would be the second part of Dune, hence the name, Part 2. So who wants to start the discussion of Dune 2?
Nobody?
I would go, but I'd rather you guys go first. I'm
I don't have
some stuff.
I don't have anything bad to say about it. It was part 2 of a 3-part movie that unfortunately part 3 is not coming out for another 2 or 3 more years. The story's great. It's an epic story across the entire galaxy. It's fun. It was shot well. All the acting is really good in it, except for she's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Dave did some 3D rendering to this movie, so we got to watch it in 3D. It was a good watch. We all had fun. We all enjoyed it that were watching it, I believe. Anybody else?
I'll jump in. I'll go ahead. Beautifully done.
Yep.
The cinematography, the special effects, the expansiveness, the scale is breathtaking in a lot of places. And I was looking for where they use some of the CGI to show, tens of thousands of people. I love that. Here's like one of the scenes where you're able to see the and they used to have it to where I could turn off the damn. There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. There it goes. You got to be the right size to where you can see the tens of thousands of people, soldiers, and but again, based on a very popular book. And whenever you take a huge novel that is extremely popular, just like with Lord of the Rings, it's a hit or a miss, and it's going to be a big swing when you hit. This does, I think, a beautiful job of telling the story, telling the characters. You're bought into it. It is not the fast-paced movie that I would normally enjoy, but the look, the feel, the sound of this movie really pulled me in. Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 lays a lot of groundwork to it. This is bringing you more into what's happened next, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Only thing that if I had to complain about the only character that I did not like in this movie, which I think you're right about the young lady here, Zendaya. She was okay. Christopher Walken. Could Christopher Walken, an icon of an actor, he's super. But could we have found a different actor, because Christopher Walken can do Christopher Walken?
Yeah,
that's the only character he knows. And
I was going to say Christopher Walken played Christopher Walken.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, so to me, the only thing that when I watched it and I saw Christopher Walken, like, we couldn't have found somebody else, because he just plays himself. He plays the same role over and over, and he was the only thing that was distracting from the movie that I thought we could have cast it better.
Thank goodness he was only in it like 6 minutes total.
It's not long. Yeah, he has a very short role. He doesn't talk a whole lot. He stands there with this look most of the time. And so that was the only thing that irritated me. I laughed at Batista. Batista, his role, his character made me laugh more than anything, because he was just a fumbling idiot the whole time. And I wasn't sure. I didn't read the books because that involved reading. But so I didn't know if in the book he was a fumbling idiot, but he played a fumbling idiot in this movie. And I was like, he wasn't scary. I mean, he wasn't a scary character except for if you worked for him, because he smashed the head and killed a couple of the people that worked for him. So I definitely enjoyed it. Blue and I both watched it. I've seen it 2.5 times now, and beautiful in 4K. And I will say, if you guys watch it in 4K, pay attention to the some of the scenes that are real bright or real dark. If you see a lot of those halos where that compression happens for streaming, find a different copy. Because I did find some copies that I didn't have that haloing effect when it would go to real dark or kind of a bright sandy scene. Some releases have that more than others. So great fight scenes, and I enjoyed it. So that's my thoughts on it.
I did too. One thing that I did forget to say is I don't think this film could stand alone without watching the first one. You're gonna have no idea what the hell's going on.
Right.
Yeah, that's what Andrew said last night when he was watching it. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch it with subtitles?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's too many parts where they're not. Yeah. They're not clear. It's kind of mumbling, and so if you don't have subtitles, it does become difficult for me.
Especially when they're speaking Fairman.
Well, 100% for that part. But even the other parts, I tended to be like, "Oh, what did he say?"
I gotta say though, about this movie, because I even saw the first original one in '84 as a movie.
With the eyebrows.
And when you went to see the movie, they gave you a pamphlet to explain a lot of the whole thing with Dune. Who the players were and stuff like that. I personally loved this movie. I just hated Zendaya. I can't stand her as an actress, and to see her acting in what's got to be my most favorite movie of Dune. I was so happy that Dune was being redone, but so sad to see her in it. And then now that I have to find out she's going to be in the third one, because I didn't know that there were going to be 3. I thought there were only going to be 2. And so there were a lot of things that I was questioning last night watching it. A lot of things I looked up to find out what the differences were. Like even with the whole Christopher Walken thing, there were a bunch of people. They were trying to use, that they were gonna use instead of him. One was Denzel. They had I can't remember now. There were a couple other people, and and under IMDb they have them listed there, but they decided to go with him for their reasons. There were a lot of other things that I didn't know about, like with this guy here, that he was, the grandfather. I never knew that. I knew that that he was a grandfather, but it didn't make sense to me back in the 80s, because it was the sister that killed him, and she's not even born yet here now. And in the other movie, she was already born by now, and so it was really weird watching this and having to see the mother, talking with the baby, while she's still in the womb, but I really loved it. I really did. I can't wait to watch it again. I will watch it again. But I just sucks to have to wait for a third one. They did do a good job.
Well, I liked it. I mean, I liked it a lot. I mean, I think I've watched it 3 or 4 times. But the only thing, and I'm going to bitch about it, I bitched about it last night. I want somebody to explain to me, how the hell do you get basically a whole village on the back of a worm with tents and bullshit? I got into this debate with your wife and DMs when she watched the movie, and I said, yeah, it's a good movie, but I got some issues. And she asked me, what's your issues? I'm like, did I miss the part where there's like a worm stop? So, so we can catch the number 9 worm heading south, so the whole village can climb on board, tents, have all kind of crap. All right, well, we got the number 9 worm heading south. You guys take the 10 and 12 worm.
You watched the first one, Dave?
Meet you down there, So, I mean, that's the only issue I had, because every other thing you see them basically risking their life to climb on top of a worm. So how the hell did you get a pregnant lady inside a tent on top of a freaking worm? So, yeah, that's the issue.
Very good point. Good point.
That's the issue I have with the movie.
Did you watch the first one? The first one in the 80s?
I told you last night I watched it, but I remember nothing about it.
Okay.
What we'll have to do is, once I finish the conversion to 3D, we'll have to do the
I'll
original.
definitely rewatch it. I'll definitely rewatch it, because I love that first one so much. And you get, at least there, you get to see how everyone gets up there. So you need to see that.
For me, this is the movie. It's not my genre of a movie, but what I really liked about it, because of the cinematography, the special effects, the music sucks. The only thing that I really didn't like, the actor. Wait a minute, the actor I didn't like was Austin Butler. Every time I looked at his face, I thought he was going to break out and sing an Elvis song. But the special effects were great. The directing, I think, was great, because naturally he's a Canadian. He had a part in writing the movie also. But would I watch a third episode of this? Yes. But would I recommend it? I give it a soft play. That's for me.
This is my turn now.
I think
Yeah,
so, Andrew.
I can see the appeal. I definitely can see the appeal, and it's got like Game of Thrones vibes, like with the different houses. And it's one of those ones where you've got to really pay attention to what's going on. And I agree with what Roger said. You definitely have to watch the first one to understand what's going on. Like before this got picked, I had already started watching part 1, but I think I'd only watched like 20 minutes of it, and then I never got a chance to get back to it before this one was picked. So like this morning before I watched it, because I watched like an hour of this last night with you guys in big screen, and then this morning I watched. I thought I'll watch a recap of the first one just so I can get an idea of what actually is going on in the story. Because like you say, if you jump into this one just not watching the first one and not knowing anything about it, like I didn't know anything about Dune. I never read the books, and I'm sorry, Aubyns, but I've never seen the original movie.
Well, you need to watch it. We'll get you in there to watch it.
Yeah, so it's like it would be hard to follow. And was hard to follow at the beginning, like not knowing what's going on. But the more I watch it, I was like, visually, I thought it's really, really good. And I like a lot of the actors in it. I like Dave Bautista. I like Josh Brolin's really great actor. Christopher Walken played Christopher Walken. I'm not too bothered by Zendaya. I think she's an okay actress, but I did read a review which made us laugh. It's like, someone said that Zendaya has 2 facial expressions in the whole of this movie, and the main one she used was like a scowl, which she just directed at Paul all the time. Which is true. Like, she does do that scowl face a lot.
Yeah, I thought Gurney was gonna slap her. I was hoping he would have.
I was confused by the end of it. I'm glad that you said that they're doing a third part, because I was very confused by the end, and I was like, is this the way it's ending? It just seemed to like drop off.
There's still a lot of the story left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, so someone's never. I don't know anything about it, so I wouldn't have known that there was more story to tell. But I mean, I would assumed that surely that's not where it ends.
No, if you watch the very first one, you'd see how much, it was a long movie also, but nowhere near as long as what this is, and how much they showed you, how much of the story you got told. And I don't feel that it was ever rushed, but I do like how they stretched this out, but to have to wait so long to be able to get back to it, that's just not fair to someone trying to watch a movie. Have to go through 3 movies to get to finally what happens in the end.
Yeah, I think when you do movies that are like from books, you have to I think that you have to stretch it out over multiple movies if you actually want to tell the story properly. Because there's no way you could just squeeze it. I mean, this was 2 hours 45 minutes, and you just couldn't squeeze the whole thing into one movie. It would just be too much information, and there's a lot to take in, just like from the different houses, all the different names and the characters. And
that's why they gave out a manual the first time.
So I mean, and I could definitely see the appeal of it, and I think like the diehard Dune fans of the book, like fans of the books and stuff, it definitely would probably.
There's 23 books.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's massive.
My main question from this is at the end. I was going to ask you guys, Timothy Chalamet's character. Are we supposed to hate the guy at the end? Because he just like he's do you know when he like starts embracing his role of like the leader, and he starts telling them that like, no one can like. And he goes into they go to the south, and then he goes to the center of that big room, and everyone's around. He's like, no one will dare challenge him because he's basically the chosen one. He's like comes across as really arrogant, like from then onwards to the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh god, I'm starting to not like him. He's like become really arrogant and power crazy. Well, but I don't know if that's the way it's meant to be.
In the original movie, they had these things called weirding modules, and with that module, it was able to they could just talk and say a word, and they could kill someone with the word, and so we haven't even seen any of that, and that's like one of the parts that bothers me.
Is that not the voice?
It is no. It's different than using the voice. The voice is only coming from the Benny Gesserit's side. You understand? But he's got that in him because he was, born by his mom, who's a Benny Gesserit, and his sister is going to be one also.
Could this movie been shorter?
Yes, it could have been if you watched the original one from the 80s.
Yeah, okay.
You'll see the whole story all there.
Okay.
You know, the only thing I remember from the 80s version is I never wanted my eyebrows to get that thick.
That
was the only thing I could ever remember. That's the only thing I could ever remember. I never wanted my eyebrows to be looking like this.
Like that. Yep.
His eyebrows is like, I'm like, oh, please, honey, do you see any stray hairs? Like the big, all of his eyebrows were, they were this long, like a caterpillar.
Yeah. But it was. I really enjoyed the first one. I got to go back and watch that one again. Now that Dave has redone it.
It's just a shame that we have to wait so long to get the end of this story.
Right, it's too long. It's too long to wait.
Well, but you look at how these again. Did they think that it was going to do as well as it did? Do you take a chance? And it reminds me of that. Remember you saw that, Aubyns, the Lord of the Rings, how they did the Lord of the Rings, and they were able to do all three at the same time because they said this is how we're going to do it. But most film companies are not going to take the risk. Right, take the risk. I mean, that's a big risk.
But you see, but they should have, because after the first
hindsight,
but they should have, because the first one. They immediately told them, it did really well. And they immediately told them, go for the second. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why not have them do the other two? You know how good this is. You know how many Dune fans there are out there.
The other thing is if you think about it, so now the fight is not going to be on the planet. I would think it's all going to be a space fight like Star Wars of some sort.
No.
Because they're leaving. I mean, I didn't read the book. So they left the planet because they're having to attack all the other houses, right?
But no, it's. I don't think it's going to be a space war. No.
You think they're going to do a ground force battle like they did these?
Yeah.
Why would the houses land on the planet? Why fucking shoot?
Because they travel differently than if you were to read books, they travel differently than how you would imagine that they're traveling.
I mean, I understand they need the spice to travel. Yeah. Because that's why this planet is so important, because they need that mineral, that spice to travel. So, I guess destroying the planet completely is not an option because they need it. It's fuel. But still, I when you see they're like, we're they're heading up. So I'm like, okay, so I guess the rest of it's going to be up in space fighting.
You need to rewatch the first one also again.
It's been forever. Like I said, I don't
remember. It's got to be forever. You have to worry about the eyebrows.
It's the only thing I can remember.
Oh boy,
this kid's going to be one of the serious actors of that generation of people. He's going to be like the Jack Nicholson of that age group of people. He's really good.
Just don't let him sing in another movie. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. But he's still good.
Yeah.
Seems. Just don't let him act with Zendaya again, because I can't stand her. I really, really can't stand her.
I just don't get it.
I think she's all right, man.
Oh gosh. She comes out of Disney, okay? She should have stayed there, okay? We all know how much I can't stand Disney.
Oh, we know. And you will not leave that alone, the poor guy.
Oh, no.
Poor Disney, they're just trying to make a living, man.
No.
Well, I will say, like I said last night, I think that Dune 2 is the best film I've seen her in.
Yeah.
As far as anything she's done, in my opinion. Because I did not like her in the Spider-Man.
Nope. Not at all.
And I
wanted to slap her there too.
Yeah, the fight scenes in this were really good.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it
Like I
does.
see it visually and all that sort of stuff. It's really good. It's just like I think you do have to watch the first part probably to get like Todd said, it lays the groundwork for you need to know what's going on because it is like
Right.
one of those Game of Thronesy type things where you've got like lots of different houses and characters and stuff going on and like loads of little stories intertwined and it's like it's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
It's a lot of political stuff in this movie, you know?
Yeah.
It really makes me think of, like, Andrew, you're 100% right about Game of Thrones, and it is a lot of that feel, you know, with the houses fighting against another house. And so to me, the whole understanding that how they work, and again, I've never read the book, you know, Blue has read those, so she has a lot more understanding. And so that she, you know, when we would talk about it, she gave me the kindergarten lessons. Yeah, she gave me kindergarten lessons when we were doing it. I mean, she wasn't giving me nothing that was more than I could handle because, you know, I'm like, it gets too much. I'm like, it's too confusing, too many houses. I didn't watch until I watched it till this last time. I didn't catch the part where that he was a Harkin. I kind of thought, I remember hearing it, but I was like, huh. But then the last time I watched it, I was like, oh, okay. So she had sex with Fat Boy, and
the Fat Man.
That's why that he was actually the son of the Fat Boy. So yeah, I mean, he definitely don't look like his dad. So you know, kudos to him for that.
Yeah.
Well, no, he said grandpa.
Yeah. His mother was the daughter of the Baron.
Right.
He got raped.
Yeah, his mother
got raped by him, and that's why it should have been Alia, who's the baby, that killed him, not Paul. That's why it just bothered me that they let Paul do it. It should have been the sister.
Well, all right. So with me again, don't know the story because I don't remember the '80s version. So the little sister, the one that's in Mama's belly, talking to both of them, which is weird. She gonna be a snake in the grass because
she is.
I feel like she's baiting this whole thing and like she's pulling the strings from inside her mama's belly, you know. And
she is like you would not believe.
Okay,
you know, you think Paul has powers, you ain't seen nothing.
Well, that was another thing I complained about last night. So, like when the movie starts, she just basically finds out she's pregnant. You know, she becomes the Reverend Mother. The baby's just a little fetus. Well, then the next scene about you see her, she looks like she's 8 months pregnant. So then she's like 8 months pregnant through the rest of the film.
Right.
So that was another thing that bugged me.
But that's because
I'll
tell you, because that's because when they left where we left off at the end of the first, it was only still days while they were still traveling.
Yeah, but they took down all those spice stuff. They destroyed all the all the Fairman raids. There was a lot of time passed between when the Atreides house fell and to the end of this movie. I mean, you would think that would be at least a calendar year, if not more.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, because you got to remember when Alia is finally born, she grew really fast. You know, mind wise. You know, that's why it bothered me that they took all that out and did it this way. I'm not saying that it's wrong that they did it. It just changed up the whole story for me.
And Anna Taylor-Joy is going to be Alia, right? Isn't that what you took of that?
I don't know. I didn't even look at the thing there. See if where Anna Taylor-Joy comes in, Todd, at the in the credits. See who she plays.
That's who I assumed she was playing.
No, because she's not even born yet. Why would it be?
Right. It was a future. I mean, she was
future. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's why I guess they said that. That's why she had one line before the
There's-
Not even
You
listed.
see,
no.
not even listed, right? Yeah. So that's why she only had one line. It could be her because there's no Alia that's there listed anywhere, right?
Alia.
Yeah.
How would you guys compare it to the original?
I don't remember enough of the original.
Yeah.
I remember the original. I love the original. This is giving you more story than the original could have because you're talking
3 hours
know,
versus 9 or nearly 9.
right,
There she
yeah,
is. There she was. There was her name at the very
Right.
bottom, Todd.
okay. So they have Alia
Yeah.
down
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
there? And the Taylor Joy? Yeah, so
Yep.
so that's why she did do a line in this movie, but it was she just spoke it. They said if you look at the
Well, they showed her on screen saying she had that one soliloquy.
let's see.
Uncredited.
Uncredited, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it should be uncredited because
I figured that's who she was. I mean, they
Yeah.
never said it in the movie, but I assumed
right,
by context it had to be her.
Okay.
right.
Well, I still say there's actors from this movie that are still pulling sand out of cracks in their body
Oh, for sure.
that they didn't know was there.
Yeah. But again, beautifully done. The only I will say it was a little hokey, and I'm 100% with Beach on the hokiness on the sandworms and how everybody climbed aboard. And he was, and them sandworms are always moving. Yeah. So yeah, how did you load up the women, children, old people?
There is something about the worms there, how that they communicate with them. There's a whole thing in a book about that. So
All right, so
I don't want to say the wrong thing about it.
all right, so 1984.
Yeah.
I think Blue was watching this TV miniseries of Dune.
I have that all. Yeah, I got
Which
that.
looks like a play. It's really.
Not the one I
It was
have.
weird.
It's not a
It was
play.
weird.
If you search for,
this had Sting in it. That's right.
Yeah.
he was Fade. He was Fade Ralph.
Yeah.
He was the other guy that was all white and his teeth were black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I do. I remember. I remember this now. I definitely remember Sting in it.
Yeah. And you remember how Paul killed him, and then to see this one that he actually gets hit, by Fade Ralph was just like, what? How did this happen? Because that should never have happened.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. He was the Gurney. He played Gurney Hadler.
Dave, just so you know, I just looked because I couldn't remember. The worms, after a while, after riding them around for a while, just get tired and they stop.
Yeah, but the worms.
You can climb on, climb off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the mouth of the worms look like bloodsuckers.
Yeah. Here was where...
They could explain it better.
Yeah.
In the movie, say, hey, jump on the worm, ride around, tired out, so we can load on. Or something.
Yeah.
Terminal.
I couldn't remember. It had been nearly, 40 some years since
One eyebrows like that, Dobbs?
Yeah, that's where I don't want to get like that. I'm tell Blue, don't let me get like that, baby. Don't let me get there.
Yeah, Sting played Austin Butler's character in this version of it.
Okay.
Fade Ralph.
All right.
And that was his brother in the back over there.
Over here.
Far right there. Yeah, that was his
So that would be Batista.
Yeah, that's
right. Right.
Okay. All right. So I guess he was supposed to be kind of a dummy.
And next to him is the Benny Gesserit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one that gave the gum Jabbar to Paul.
All right. Okay. Let's see. So has everybody chimed in on our movie of the week? For Dune?
I'm
Is
trying to
everybody?
find that other thing.
Dabney Coleman died.
Oh, that's too
Oh
bad.
man.
He's a damn fine looking man.
Yeah.
Fletch. That was a line from Fletch.
Yeah.
All right. So we go ahead and you want to start our voting? See where we get. We'll
Yeah.
throw it.
Sure.
So if you guys not watched the show before, what we'll do is now we do for a play or pass. So play would mean you would recommend this to others. You would want to watch it again. Pass means dump this in a garbage bin and catch it on fire. You don't want to watch that shit again. So, so we're gonna start that. We do have the voting for Telegram. We will talk about that once we're done with this. Let me get my numbers here because this is official shit. So we do play and we do pass. So for the people that are on the panel, as well as over you guys over in the side chat, throw in the play or pass. Let's see. So, oops, stop sharing. Play or pass, Mr. Eddie.
Yeah, me, I'm giving it a soft play, but like I said, the reason why, because it's not my gender.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the special effects and the cinematography and the wardrobes. I like the wardrobes.
Good point. Jump Beach. What do you think?
Play.
Play
all day.
Play all day. Mr. Andrew, our young buck on the panel.
Young. I'm also a play. I can definitely see the appeal to it. And I just know that you have to watch the first one, the first part first, which seems a bit like common sense to say that, but it's just it's not one of those ones that you could just jump into the second part and be like, oh yeah, I understand what's going on.
Yeah.
You've got to have the first. You've got to have the context, but it is good.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. What about you, Roger? Play or pass for a Dune 2?
Definite play for me. It's an epic story. And the only bad thing is we got to wait 3 more years to get the end of it. That's the only bad thing.
Good point. Aubyns, play or pass?
Definite play for me. Anyone who's going to go back and watch the 84 one, please remember it was 84, okay? And
The best, yeah.
we didn't have the type of graphics like we do today.
Yeah.
And you will also have to remember when Dune was written. And Frank Herbert did this many moons ago, and he was talking about space travel before anybody else ever came up with it. Dune is like one of the books that was written. More copies were almost written than the Bible. Okay, that's how many copies of that book are out there. Yeah, it's a religion to a lot of people, But it's a play for me any day of the week. Just please, just kill Zendaya. Just seeing how the other Fremen were looking at her like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was losing my mind having to watch her in this thing because she shouldn't have been like that. And in the other story, she loved Paul. She wouldn't sit there and say, "Oh, I don't trust him," or
well,
She had sex with him.
right?
I mean, so
no one else was gonna with her fucking sourpuss.
He did turn around and say he was going to marry that other lady. So
yeah,
but he had to because he was.
Oh yeah, that old excuse.
Right? Yeah.
That old cat's nose.
It worked for me, friend.
Well, you know what? You never know. The third movie might open up with the worm just eating her instead of getting
I would wish. And that's how the grandfather That's how he floated off into the Shia LaBeouf, the worm. So and to not be able to see that happen, and this one they took Thade kissed his father, and as you saw in the other things I put out there, that's not the way it was written to him to do it. He just did it on instinct, and he kissed him. So, but played for me.
Well, he did. I mean, he married up. I mean, he did grade up on the marriage because he was marrying a. She was fine. She's pretty fine looking. Probably.
And she's the emperor's daughter. So
That's the
there's
emperor.
that too.
Yeah.
She looked like.
Well, she probably didn't have any sand in her crack either.
No.
Right.
It's not like you're whacking off with sandpaper wrapped around your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, the things we think about. All right. Yeah, I give it a play. It was a play for me. I enjoyed it. It's an epic movie. Epically great, wonderfully done. Graphics, cinematography, wardrobe, as Eddie said. Only downside is, Eddie pointed out, the soundtrack's not good. Unless you like that. Unless that's your soundtrack, you like that. But
Needs more bass.
But definitely liked the movie, and I enjoyed it. So I give it a play.
Did you guys read this there, right? Yeah. The music Ernie Halleck plays on the Bull set is reminiscent of the soundtrack of the MS-DOS game Dune, 1996.
We were just talking about MS-DOS. Look
I
at you.
probably played that game, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I played it. I
I'm
had it on my Atari 800. So, yeah, but
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Game. Yeah.
All right. What was the Telegram voting?
17-0.
Holy moly! We've got a home run.
Home run.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that the first movie we did 100%?
No. We just did what was 16-0 was American Fiction.
Okay, yeah.
And
What
was
man called Ove was unanimous as
8-0. The Promised Land was unanimous.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but let's just say 3 of those perfect all play movie choices were mine.
Well, we haven't had any Matthew McConaughey's lately to pick from.
No.
Okay?
No.
There is another one coming out though, right? Another Matthew movie either just came out or is coming out.
I don't know.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
you look
it's the Todd. It's the Todd autobiography. Please, Todd.
Yeah, he plays me. You know, his biggest fan.
His toughest role yet.
It would be. It's gonna be tough. It's tough to play this guy. You know, and to look this young. I mean, all right.
No, that's gonna have to be a lot of CGI.
Let's open the floor
Agent
for
Elvis. Was it Agent Elvis? Maybe.
I don't know.
It's a show.
So let's open the floor for any other movies that we may want to talk about, not the ones that are on the wheel. So if we want to talk about any of those other movies or TV shows that you found that you want to suggest for the panel to watch. So we're opening up the floor to movies and TV shows that you might want to recommend to people to check out.
Well, I've been watching Young Sheldon because I never watched it before, and it's fantastic. It's a great show. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's fun.
Well, if you're in the sci-fi, season 2 of Outer Range has come out. So, and it's what's weird is the first season was weird, but so far what we've seen with the episodes I've seen, it's got even freaking weirder.
Awesome.
Holy hell.
I'm surprised.
Roger, all I can say is don't freaking, don't take a lot of fucking pot because you won't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, I think better with the more pot.
Okay.
I will say a guilty pleasure that I have watched, and I've watched 4 episodes of it, and I really want to watch the rest of it, but my baby don't watch this kind of stuff, is Baby Reindeer.
I've seen that.
Holy it's the Tiger King of 2024. All right, I'll say that it's the Tiger King of 2024. You're going to want to watch it now and then forget that you watched it because it's weird and it's a true story.
And Todd, and when you're done with it, you need to watch the Piers Morgan interview with the actual.
Yes, I've seen where people posted where he actually interviewed her, the real person, because this is a true story.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it again. I can't wait to get to that so I can watch the live interview of her because
she said she's going to sue, and they have some crazy libel laws in the UK, which this kid may be liable.
No. Watch the interview. It's like she's basically the character in the thing. It's like
she's a lot of talk.
Yeah, she's. Let's just put it this way: she doesn't come across as though she's been they've done a hard lied about anything.
Well, she never went to prison. Evidently, they say that she went to prison in the show. And she,
Well, I mean, let's say you've got to put some fiction in it, though.
Well, her deal is they didn't try to change her.
Hide her identity.
Yeah, so now they didn't hide her identity, and now they said she went to prison.
Yeah, I mean, they did find that. People did find that quite quickly.
Yeah, so, and I guess there's different. Like, I don't think she'd have a leg to stand on in America, but evidently the libel laws are a little more lenient in the UK. So who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I personally, I can't see anything coming from it. Oh, it is. Which episode are you up to, Todd, by the way?
Just 4. I'm 4 episodes in. So I'm starting on the 5th.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing.
Yeah. It's like, ooh. I'm glad I didn't date no crazy cuckoos like that. But I saw Mark mention Monkey Man. Did any of you guys watch Monkey Man? We did.
Watch it yet? I'm planning to watch it.
Not my deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a foreign movie, like Indian or something like that. I mean, it tries to be like an Indian
John Wick, right?
Yeah, but not as good as John Wick. But not a bad movie.
Did Blue like it?
She said it was okay. Yeah, it wasn't as good as she was hoping.
Okay.
She was hoping that it would be better, but she was
Is it a Jonathan Peele movie?
No.
Dev Patel.
That's what it was.
Dev.
All right. For some reason I thought it was Peele.
No, this ain't a Peele one.
Yeah, I don't. I've never considered Dev Patel a bad or an action star. You know, so now he's.
But over there he is.
I guess so.
Yeah. He is there.
What about you guys? We mentioned it last week about Clarkson's Farm.
I love it. I'm hooked on it. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Season 3.
I am hooked.
It's getting a season 4 as well.
Yes.
I need to start watching it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've been meaning to.
I'm so hooked into it.
Andrew, are you a fan of his at all? From
yes, yeah, I used to watch Top Gear all the time.
Okay, well then you will love it because it's just a softer side of Jeremy that you've probably never seen before, and it's pretty cool. It's really humanizing to him.
Yeah, and humor. I mean, they do a really good job with humor in that. They really play it off. So you got the humor side, but then you also have the reality of farming. And you know, so many people think, the farmer, they think it's like no big deal. But the struggles that farmers go through and the risks that they take and the gamble that they have to take every season, constantly risk, and doesn't take much things to fail to really fail. Because, so it's good. I enjoy the whole thing.
It's beautiful. It's shot beautiful. That part of England is absolutely freaking gorgeous.
Well, and I saw for the first 3 seasons, $200 million is what he got paid.
It's worth it.
So he does. I mean, they talk because I think I was reading an article saying, does his farm actually make money to?
Doesn't need to.
And he doesn't need to, and he buys. I mean, he buys some of the craziest shit just because it's Top Gearish kind of things, like that radio controlled
that Lamborghini truck.
Well, not that he had like a hedger that was like a remote control, just chewing up, and once he breaks it, it gets caught up in the trees. Yep. I mean, it was like that cost $1,000 just to rent it.
He's a hobby. He is a hobby farmer. He's not. He's not really a farmer. He's a hobby farmer, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of information that you'll learn that you didn't know. I promise you don't know. So watch.
That's for sure, because I'm learning a lot, and I was always into checking out farming stuff, and I'm learning stuff that I was like, holy crap, because it's like I never realized that chickens peck shit out of cow shit.
Cow shit, yeah.
They look at what they peck the worms out,
Yeah.
And they broke it down so that it actually could be used for fertilizer and there's a this, and I actually Blue and I watched this the first 2 seasons when the second season came out. We watched it, and then she really enjoyed it, and so we watched. It's a documentary called Biggest Little Farm, and I highly suggest people to watch.
That was good.
It really shows how our industrial farming is really not sustainable long term because of the way that you're having to do the crops, the ground, and how the Biggest Little Farm, and it shows how they took desolate ground, a desolate farm, and actually revitalized it and actually made it an ecosystem that worked together. Because so much they talked about it in another movie that how your systems are against each other when you're trying to do farming. You're wanting to get rid of this, so you get rid of that, but then getting rid of that, the whole ecosystem, then you have a problem with something else because now you got too much of this. It's the give and take, and if you're a person that likes to learn about, highly suggest the Biggest Little Farm, and it will gives you again farming and how we're doing it as a society. Probably is not the best way to do it to make it long term and make it good for everybody.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize that what the farmers are doing to put food on your table.
Oh yeah,
and they're getting shut down left and right, and a lot of farms are not being passed off onto the next generation because there's too many objects obstacles to get over. Paperwork, oh man.
And it doesn't take but just a few things to go wrong.
Oh, right.
And you're bankrupt or you're
the weather. The weather can go bad.
The weather can kill you. Yep. Trying to harvest wheat and it starts raining for a week.
Yeah.
And then all of that goes bad. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see what happened in France. I think it started in France where all the farmers started demonstrating. Now we have it here in Canada. It's already begun in Canada where all the farmers are doing the same thing as what happened in France. And I think it's going to grow even more to other countries.
Yeah. Yep.
What about Bridgerton? I know that Blue, she's probably been watching this because
I watched that.
My partner's been watching it.
Yeah.
She actually just says to us today, she's like, I'm so annoyed I've got to wait until
next week.
Because like she was like, I thought that like she was like, I don't know why Netflix is doing this, where they like do part of the season and the release. And I was saying, I think it's because there's been a lot of complaints of people like that haven't binge watched something and then having to wait ages for the next season to come out.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether they're just trying to like break stuff up now, having like mid-season breaks.
Yeah. I think you're right, because look at you got the first 4 episodes May 16th. The next 4 episodes will drop in June 13th. So I know Blue loves this show. Loves this. This is she loves period pieces.
I've never actually seen it, like, but I know I do think that breaking the seasons up is probably a good move for Netflix.
Oh yeah.
It's like I know there's a lot of stuff that people like to binge watch, but like you have to wait so long for the next season to come out. It's
Well, they charge by the month. They want that show to
Keep
get
you
them at least
Stretch
2
it out
months.
for the next month.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Stretch it out.
I think a lot of people just miss the days where it's just 1 episode a week.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows that have went back to that. Shogun was once a week, and I watched it as soon as it hit the pirate stream. I mean, at 12 o'clock at night, I watched it every time it dropped.
Yeah, we were on it, maybe not at midnight, but within a day of it dropping, we would sit down and watch.
Do you prefer that format, or do you like the everything dropping at once?
I always prefer
7
that.
episodes of Young Sheldon right now. I prefer it all at once.
He likes to. I'd rather watch it, skip it out each week, because I watch so many different shows that I need the week to get them all in, and then I get to think about the episode, and then when the next one comes, okay, when you get them all something.
Yeah, you get locked in, don't you, to whatever it is you're watching, especially if it's all dropped at once.
Right.
You can't go away and watch something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think also with it, you're able to savor when it's episode to episode. You are actually able to digest, absorb that episode, think about it. Whereas when we were able to binge, which I love binging, but you don't get to enjoy that episode. Shogun, we enjoyed each episode, or there was aspects of it we didn't enjoy, but we got to be able to express that.
Talk about it. You can talk about it.
I was just about to say that. But like discussion wise, it's hard to you forget a lot of stuff when you've watched like 8 or 10 episodes in a row. If you're watching one a week, you got loads of discussion on just one episode. You could miss so many good things that have happened in multiple episodes by just binge watching it, and then trying to talk about the whole show.
Yeah,
it's like Lost. It was a water cooler show, because every Thursday, because it was on Wednesdays, you would go to work and talk about freaking Lost.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And people got along, not wanting to kill each other at work.
I see Leon's mentioned Sugar, and I have yet to watch this. It's on my kind of. I'm thinking about watching this. You guys watched it? Thoughts?
No, I think it's a drama, isn't it? Isn't it like
it's done by Colin Farrell's done by Apple TV, and usually anything Apple does,
it's probably good.
Yeah. So I have not watched it yet, but it's on my Plex.
Yeah, it's on my Plex too. I have not watched it. I don't know if I will or won't. I don't know. Drama's not my thing.
It is mine. I'll watch a drama.
Everything's your thing.
For music lovers,
except for anything Zendaya's in.
For music lovers, on Monday there's a TV miniseries on about Stax Soulville.
Yeah, I got that set to record for you, Eddie. That'll be on my Plex.
Yeah, Dave got me onto this one.
All right.
The mayor of Kingston is coming back
Yeah.
on June the 2nd.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That Elizabeth show that was up like
yeah, that's good. I like it.
I heard it's a lot like Columbo, which back in the
Yeah.
day Columbo was pretty
Yeah.
good, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch it because it's just a theme on a cop show where I
Right.
can't watch anything where they figure out what's wrong in 45 minutes and tie it up in a bow every week. That's just not.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I like it because I like her. You know, because,
Yeah, I like that actor too. From
Yeah. And you know who
True
she's married
Blood.
to, right? You know
Yes,
she's
I
married
do know. God, who is it? God dang it.
The guy from Lost.
Yes,
The
the bug-eyed guy.
Yeah. He was in that other show there with
Blacklist.
Diesel. No. He wasn't in Blacklist. He was in the one there with Jim Caviezel when he was oh man, I can't remember the name of that show. Jim Caviezel, him and that other girl.
He's not the guy from. He's not the guy who's in Fallout. It's not that one from Lost.
Well, I didn't. I don't think I.
He plays Ben in Lost. Who is he playing Lost?
He was like one of the. I can't even. He was one of the people in the background of the. What was that word of the people in Lost? You had like two different sides of it.
We're gonna have to get lost up now, Todd.
Yeah.
What are you talking about the
TV show.
There's people on the island and people from the
From
corporation.
Right. The
So
corporation.
he's from the corporation. He wasn't part of the flight. Get the cast up.
Okay, Carrie Pressman is married to
Michael Emerson?
Michael Emerson, correct?
He's from
And
the
that's
Yeah,
the
that's
guy.
what I'm on about.
Yeah,
He's,
he was in the
Oh, he was on
plays-
the Blacklist?
He's in Fallout.
Yeah, he gets his head cut off.
Yeah.
Oops, spoiler alert.
He plays Benjamin Linus.
Yeah.
He's actually been in quite a lot of stuff
Yeah, he's
over
in
the
a lot
years.
of But what was that other one I'm thinking about with Jim Caviezel?
It's not that ungentlemanly warfare one, is it? That movie that's just,
No, it was a show.
oh, sure. Well, what shows has Jim Caviezel been in, except for
That one big one that he was in. Person of Interest.
Person of interest.
Person of Interest?
Yeah. And they were supposed to be bringing that back, if anybody's a fan.
Yeah, that was one where, where it's the eyes are on everybody. Yes,
Right.
Lou started watching that not too long ago.
Yeah, I loved that show. That was a great show.
I'll tell you a show that I watched the first season and then I went back and started watching it, and it is funny as shit. Is Resident Alien?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
love
that
it.
is funny.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's fucking hilarious.
what the guy that plays the alien, whatever his name is.
His
He-
name is
His facial expressions.
Huh?
Lou and I watch it, and we're cracking up at his facial
Oh, yeah.
expressions. And the sheriff, he has some of the best lines of the whole show.
Yeah.
Lines, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We watch it.
Black.
That's one of the shows we watch in the mornings before we go to work. And
You
I'm
need a
telling
laugh in the morning?
oh god, it's just you're giggling. You're like, oh my god, this is funny. But it's, if you've not watched it, Resident Alien it's fun. It is a fun, silly, again, great lines. Some of the stuff they say are just funny as hell. So. Redneck, we're not talking about that. I had already posted that.
Oh yeah, Rangers
allowed to-
baby.
We're not allowed to talk about that game. That was Her veins were ripped off. I don't even want to talk about that. It was...
Hey, you only can blame yourself because you left Carolina and you went there, up there, and that's where you're gonna have the root.
You know what? No, you know what? The only thing that's good about it is they got farther than the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs. That's all that matters to me. Because all I hear is about Toronto, and I'm like, all I do is bring up. I'm like, hey, that's right. You know, how far did you guys get? Oh, that's right. You couldn't get past the first round. We did get the second round. So,
oh boy.
All right, we're at 7 after 7 o'clock. Right?
7. Yeah.
So.
Before we
jump
on that, we have UFC tomorrow. Barboza against Murphy. 7 o'clock is the main card. Prelims are at 4 o'clock Eastern. We have BKFC tonight at 8 p.m. That we'll be playing that in big screen. And also, I didn't write it down the Tyson.
Fury Usyk.
Fury and
Usyk.
Usyk. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Undisputed.
I don't know what time that match. What time is it for you over there? Because it's out by you, right?
It's in Saudi Arabia.
It's in Saudi. Oh, I thought it was
It's probably going to be around. God, I know when the WWE does its shows in Saudi, it usually starts at like 7 p.m. my time, which I guess is like.
It starts early, but I had read online where they said the main event, which is Fury and Usyk,
be like 11 p.m.
scheduled
UK.
to take stage until 11 p.m. UK time, which is 6.
Yeah, it's like 6 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's doable.
Yep.
But there's a ton of undercard fights, so it's on for like 4 hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, Eddie, anything you want to say before we go, bro?
No, I got my sweater on. It's still cold. We had a damn good show tonight. Liked it.
Awesome. Beachy.
See y'all next week when we discuss the shit shack.
Good show. Good show. Don't let Grumpy Dave fool you. It's good.
Andrew, anything you want to say before we head out of here?
I'm going to try and be optimistic about this movie from the sound of what people. Well, Roger, I don't. You had that one movie that what was it, The Package?
Yes.
Which we all were skeptical about, and it was really good. And then ever since then, you've been on a roll of flops. So I'm just hoping. And if it isn't, I pray to God that you don't get the pick next year. Mind you, I don't want to watch Godzilla -1.
You don't?
No, why not?
No, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Godzilla movies.
No. How about King Kong?
I don't mind Kong, but I know there's Godzilla Kong, but.
No, because is it? I just don't know if it's a thing of your age. Not growing up watching that stuff.
I remember the Godzilla movie in the 90s. It was good fun, but I don't know. I'm more of a King Kong person. If I had to choose between two.
Okay. No, I remember growing up loving to watch shows in black and white. You know.
Oh God, can't relate.
Yeah, there was like a Saturday.
Those were the days where you had to go and get up to go and push the button to change the channel.
But do you remember Flash Gordon in black and white?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Andrew paying your TV tax. So.
Oh yeah.
Roger, anything you want to say before we head out?
Not much. Thanks for the invite as always, and look forward to talking to you tomorrow or next week about the Snack Shack.
Nice.
All right. Alban, I'd like to turn your camera off because I keep looking at that damn shirt. But go ahead, Alban.
Rangers. Thanks for everyone coming out. We'll see you next week. We'll be in VR tonight, tomorrow, and next Thursday to watch the movie. Have a good weekend. It's a long weekend for most of us, all of us.
Yeah.
It's Memorial Day here and whatever they call that up in Canada. They confuse me.
It's
They
like
confuse me.
May
2-4.
May 2-4. Really? Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even the 24th, but
I know. That's what I'm saying. May 2-4. May 2-4. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of shit don't make sense up here. Yeah, go ahead.
You got that right. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Okay.
I want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks for everyone on the panel that comes in here and hangs out with us and gives your input on the topics as well as the movie that we watch. I love it. It's great fun. And the show is made because you guys come and join the panel, as well as our regulars that we have, our 30-ish people that come in and watch us live every week, and really appreciate that. So as Alban talked about, like, subscribe, share, send some cash so I can pay these guys a little bit of something.
And wait for my album, my intros to drop.
Yeah. So, hey, we'll talk to you. Streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later.